Hi guys, and welcome back to the Aspiring Home Cook. My name is Trisha, and in today's video I'm going to share with you my recipe for an amazing banana bread. Now this is dairy free as well as egg free. This is a 100% plant-based recipe and turns out absolutely delicious. Now for this recipe you're going to start with overripe bananas. Now these were purchased just for the purpose of making this banana bread, so I've had to patiently wait for them to go overripe because as they ripen they get sweeter. So make sure you're starting off with well-ripened bananas. Now being a plant-based recipe, I'm going to make a flaxseed egg to replace the egg in my recipe. Now here I've just got 1 tablespoon of flax meal. To make this flax meal, I simply grind up some flax seeds in a dry grinder until I'm left with a nice powder like this. And then I just pop it in a jar, keep it in the fridge, and it's there ready to use whenever I get baking. I simply pick up a bag of flax seeds from Costco, but you can now find this at your mainstream grocery stores as well. This is the bag that I picked up from Costco. So to make our flax egg, I simply add 3 tablespoons of water at room temperature to the 1 tablespoon of flax meal. Give it a good stir, and I'm just going to pop this bowl in the fridge for about 10 to 15 minutes so that this thickens up a little bit. It congeals a little into a gloopy egg-like consistency that I'll show you in a bit. And while that's happening, we can prep the rest of our ingredients. This is also the perfect time to start preheating your oven. Preheat your oven at 180 degrees Celsius. Now for the recipe today, I'm simply using half a cup of walnuts as my add-ins. You can add in a few chocolate chips if you'd like a more chocolatey version as well. I'm keeping it very simple. I love the addition of walnuts in a good banana bread, so I'm going to roughly chop about half a cup of walnuts like you can see here. You don't need a very fine chop. A rough chop works really well so that you get a few little pieces and few slightly bigger pieces. But keep in mind you don't want the pieces to be too big because that can be a little problematic while slicing your cake through. So I've got a rough mix of different sizes like you can see here. I'm also going to prep my cake tin. I'm using a loaf tin today. I've lined it with some baking paper. Notice that I've left the flaps or the ends of these strips a little longer than the length or the width of the tin. This overhang will help us pick that cake out of the loaf tin very easily. And I'm going to lightly grease it with a little bit of oil. You can also use some vegan butter here if you'd like. Now when you're spreading the oil, make sure that you're greasing not just the parchment paper but also the exposed bits of that baking tin to make sure the cake releases easily. Now this is a 1 bowl recipe. No fancy equipment or gadgets needed here. I'm just going to use my trusty old potato masher. If you don't have one, a fork will work just as well, and a spatula. Start by peeling 3 large bananas and either using a potato masher or a fork, mash this down to a fairly lump-free mash. Once that's done, I just like to take my spatula and break down any of the slightly larger lumps that I might have missed earlier. And once you're happy with the consistency, you can start adding the rest of your ingredients. I'm adding 2/3 of a cup of sugar here. This is just regular sugar. We get a fairly fine-grained sugar here, so that's exactly what I'm using. However, if the sugar that you have access to is fairly large grained or chunky, I would recommend popping that into a dry grinder, grinding that down to a powder, and then adding it to your batter so that it's easier to mix it in. To this, I'm going to add 1/4 of a cup of oil. I'm using some sunflower oil here. Any neutral, mild flavored oil will do the trick. So vegetable oil, sunflower oil, canola oil, whatever is the oil of your choice will work here. I usually tend to have sunflower oil on hand, so that's what I'm using for this recipe. And give everything a good mix to make sure that that sugar dissolves and the oil and the mashed banana mix well. Here's a handy little tip for you. If that bowl's dancing around like crazy, like mine is, just pop a tea towel under the bowl. It stabilizes the bowl and makes it easier to mix the contents. Once everything has mixed through well, just make sure you scrape down the sides and incorporate those bits into your batter as well. And we can now add the rest of our ingredients. Now this is what my flax egg looks like after those 10 to 12 minutes that it's had in the fridge. Like you can see here, it's gotten nice and viscous and thickened up. I'm going to pop that into the bowl and mix that through so that that flax egg distributes through the rest of the ingredients. You can use a whisk if you'd like to, but I find that the spatula works just as well. I'm sorry I lost that little clip of me mixing in the flax egg, but you can rest assured that it's in the batter. Next, I'm going to add about a teaspoon of vanilla extract and mix that through. Now to this, I'm going to add my dry ingredients. So into the bowl right on the top, I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour or plain flour and 3/4 of a cup of whole wheat flour. If you don't have whole wheat flour, simply use 1.5 cup of all-purpose flour. To this, I'm going to add about 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. We're going to amp up the flavor profile of this banana bread by using some beautiful warming spices. I use 1 teaspoon of cinnamon powder and 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg powder. Now once that's done, I'm just going to give the dry ingredients a little bit of a mix on top before I can incorporate it with the wet ingredients. You can definitely do this in 2 separate bowls. Do the wet ingredients in one bowl and your dry ingredients in another and mix the two later. But I just go ahead and put everything in one bowl. It makes for lesser cleaning up. Once your dry ingredients have been added, make sure that you're not vigorously stirring this batter, but simply cut and fold those dry ingredients through like you can see me do here. And we're going to continue with this process until all of that flour has been incorporated. Make sure to scrape down the sides and the bottom of the bowl so that there are no clumps of dry flour left and everything mixes through really well. Keep in mind, you don't want to overmix the batter. So just once everything has mixed through, you are done. Lastly, we're going to add in those chopped walnuts and gently fold that through the batter. You want them to be well distributed, but again, you want to be very gentle while mixing this through. Your banana bread batter is now ready. Carefully pour out the batter into your prepared loaf tin. Give this a couple of good taps on your countertop. That'll help get rid of any air bubbles through that batter. And you can now go ahead and pop this into your preheated oven. This cake needs to bake for about 40 to 50 minutes. I would recommend checking it at the 40-minute mark, and you're going to continue baking it until it develops a beautiful color and it has cooked through completely. I've already tested this before taking it out of the oven, but here's how I typically do it. Insert a skewer through the center of the cake. If it comes out clean, without any of the tacky batter sticking onto it, you know your cake has cooked through. If not, just pop it back into the oven and let it bake for a little longer. And this next bit is the hardest bit. You're now going to wait for this cake to cool down completely. Once that cake has cooled down, using the flap that runs to the center, not like what I've done here, carefully lift it out of the loaf tin onto your serving tray or plate. Now, I'm a little impatient. This cake is still a tiny bit warm, so I highly recommend that you don't do as I do, but do as I say. Wait for it to cool down. Like you can see, we've got a beautiful color right through, including on the bottom of that banana bread. And I'm going to give you a little glimpse into what it looks like on the inside. And would you have a look at that? This is what the inside of that banana bread looks like. It's nice, it's moist, it's soft and spongy, and you can see those little flecks of walnuts and some tiny chunks of banana speckled right throughout that loaf. I can't wait to dig in. I know that flavor is going to be absolutely brilliant. This is one of my favorite recipes for banana bread, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share it with family and friends that you think might enjoy it too. Also, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I'll leave a link to the complete written recipe down in the description box below. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you really soon with another delicious recipe. So till then, take care. Bye.